Well, good morning, my fellow Zennites. I do hope you checked your PulseZen wallet balance this morning with your coffee. Well, it's certainly been a very exciting 24 hours. Yesterday morning, I was sitting here telling you that we may see the collapse of FTX and even Alameda. I even went onto a Twitter Spaces to discuss this very fact with a group of journalists who scoffed at the idea that that might be happening. Well, it is happening. It has happened, and FTX is no more. How on earth did this all happen? Look, we are in uncharted waters. There is no regulation at all to do with the crypto market, which some say is a good thing, others say is a very bad thing. One thing is very clear. When we have the collapse of Terra Luna, when we have the collapse of 3AC, when we have the collapse of Celsius, it's no wonder people think that crypto is a scam. So is there a case for regulation? Well, certainly for centralized finance, I would agree. I mean, what we're seeing here is the classic tale of the emperor with no clothes. Sam, not the bank fried, deliberately mispronounced, but pretty accurate, I would say. A 30-year-old, very smart young kid, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm twice his age, managed to convince seasoned investors that creating a company and your own coin, FTT, and then using said coin to prop up the balance sheet of another company, giving it an impossible valuation, is actually a good idea. And Mark Weinstein came out this morning and said, "Oh, even seasoned institutional investors can sometimes make mistakes. It is the very people, the seasoned institutional investors, that are causing all this madness." You see, they have no understanding of the cryptocurrency world. They have no understanding of the ethos of why it exists in the first place. It is not to make them more money. This perpetual seeking of more for me and less for you has to stop. The false scarcity of wealth is created by greed. And we have to have a better system. We have to have a way of redistributing that wealth. No one is coming to save you. Certainly not the governments, certainly not the financial regulators, and certainly not the bankers. We are in a world of hurt right now. $2 trillion wiped off the crypto market yesterday, and there will be more to come, especially when the investors in FTX learn that they ain't getting their money back because the emperor, who appears to know what he's doing, Mr. CZ, the other CZ, is now the de facto crypto king. And that alone is a worrying way forward. There has to be change, undoubtedly, and there will be pain going forward. There's no question about it. But we will come out in a better world. There's no question. Now, the thing to really understand, though, is that centralized finance, centralized exchanges, etc., are a completely different animal to decentralized finance, which is what we are all interested in. We want to be in control of our money, and DeFi is the way forward. And the institutional investors, the Silicon Valleyites, don't get it, because for years now, all they've seen is a way of making more money for them. They don't seem to understand we are building a new economy which gives power back to the people. The wealth isn't going to be for just a few. The wealth is going to be redistributed equitably, starting with the protocol that is PulseZen. Now, I don't know whether you noticed with your coffee this morning that your PZEN wallet balance went up, but as everything else was collapsing, Bitcoin down 10%, Ethereum down nearly 20%, Solana down over 30%. Sorry for those people who invested in Solana. But PulseZen this morning, it's up. Not only is your wallet balance up, the price of PulseZen is always up. Why? Because we are decorrelated from the madness. We are decorrelated from the greed machines. Because you see, PulseZen redistributes the wealth equitably. We have the pay it forward mechanism built into the protocol, and no one can stop PulseZen. Nobody. It doesn't matter what the regulators try to do. It doesn't matter what anybody tries to do. Code is code. It is written on the blockchain. What that means, you don't even have to understand any of the technical aspects. It's just this. It will live on forever. It doesn't matter whether I no longer wish to evangelize PulseZen. It continues. It cannot be stopped. You are the person that drives it forward. You individually choose to act with the code. You individually take action to protect and grow your financial wealth into the future. So, somebody produced a very funny little advert for PulseZen the other day. And, you know, the analogy is quite true. Do not let your dinosaur emotional brain take over in these tumultuous times. Try and see it objectively. Think logically about what is happening in the world around you. Do not be confused and fudded out by the so-called gurus in this world and the talking heads on mainstream media. They haven't a clue about the new economy. They don't understand it. They can't control it. That is their main problem. We are so fortunate to be in a confluence of history right now where we have the technology and we have a point in history where an inflection is about to occur, because if you track the gap between the haves and the have-nots, which is commonly called the wealth gap, it has never been so high in recent times. And if you look back in history at the graph of the wealth gap, at any point in history, at any time in history that this has happened previously, it resulted in one thing and one thing only: revolution. Now, we don't know what form the revolution is going to take. You can look on social media all around the world. You can see the unrest beginning to grow. People know that there is something wrong. They just can't put their finger on it. Well, what is wrong is that you're living in a rotten system. In America, you live in a corporatocracy. That means that there is no longer, or if there ever was, a democracy. You are completely controlled by the people who have the most money. The special interest groups and the lobbyists control what happens to the money in your pocket. I mean, look, the dollar in your pocket is worth 31% less today than it was at the beginning of the year. How did that happen? That happened because the Federal Reserve deemed it so. They have been kowtowing to the lobbyists and the special interest groups to keep the stock market up, to keep asset prices up. And who owns stock? Who owns all these assets? The rich. They're the ones that have benefited. 92% of all the trillions of dollars that has been printed recently went into the stock market. It didn't go into my pocket. It didn't go into your pocket. This is fundamentally wrong. There has to be a change. There has to be a way out of this system. And the way forward is to engage with the new economy. Look at the opportunity that is PulseZen. and just see how it may offer you a way out. Now, this is not financial advice. PulseZen is not an investment. It is a socially engineered token which is designed to do one thing, and that is to redistribute the wealth. It's been working with 100% efficiency, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. There's no emperor. There's nobody in control. It is the definition of decentralized finance. It's you. It's your coin. You personally, it's your coin. You personally choose to interact with the code, and you personally choose to run it. We can give you advice about the best ways to take advantage of the protocol, and we'll say things like, well, you need to dollar cost average in. And the way that you do that is when you are looking at your finances and you see that you have a certain amount of money that you have as discretionary spending, and by that I mean that if you lose it all, it doesn't matter. That's what you should be looking at putting into a protocol like PulseZen. Because if PulseZen was to decrease in price by 94%, then it wouldn't worry you too much. It shouldn't worry you anyway, because even if the price goes down, your PulseZen wallet balance goes up. This is a beautiful protocol. It takes the principle of the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest, and it gives you compounding rewards on steroids. As we go forward, and as the fear continues in the general crypto land, you really need to be looking at what the opportunity is and actually discussing this with everybody that you can. Now, it is a DeFi protocol, and it means that it's up to you to actually look at the opportunity and decide for yourself. It is up to you to talk about it to other people to see how it all pans out for you personally. I am truly so excited this morning to see what has happened in the centralized finance world. And more than ever, I am convinced, like I was 12 years ago with Bitcoin, that this is the way forward for the common man. This is going to be the new economy. This is going to be our way of taking control. Anyway, we will see what happens. I mean, it couldn't get worse for the crypto world. And people are saying, oh, well, it's all over and the regulators are just going to regulate us out of existence. Well, you know what? They're a bit busy. They're a bit busy trying to fix their own mess in their own fiat world. They can't even do that. So to think that they're going to be able to come along and stop decentralized finance is a complete and utter joke. Train has already left the station, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. I feel very sorry for the investors in FTX. I mean, come on, SoftBank. You should know better. You see, this is the problem. This problem was created a very long time ago when we had the Silicon Valleyites. Basically, I can't even use the words that I want to use on this family-friendly broadcast. But the valuations of some of the ridiculous companies and ideas gave them the ultimate feeling of power. And they're using that money to actually try and control this crypto market. And unfortunately, the majority of them haven't got a clue what they are talking about. And everybody else suffers from that. You see, we don't have a scarcity of wealth. What we really have is a scarcity of brain cells. And I'm one of these people. I'm 60 years old. I've been around for a very, very long time. I've been in the crypto space for a very, very long time. So, I might not be the smartest person in crypto. I think I am. And the reason that I think I'm the smartest person in crypto is because I realize I know nothing. So I wish you a fantastic, happy day, my Zenites. Don't forget, we have our rollover giveaway to do this Saturday, broadcasting at 16:30 Eastern Standard Time. The registration is open. Just register. That's all you have to do. You have to collect your MetaMask wallet and just register. That's it. And the prizes for this week, I might as well announce it here on this broadcast for those of you who are bothered to get up at this time in the morning. And for my replay watchers, hello to you. Good morning. It's already early morning here down in the Caribbean. So what are we going to do? Well, the giveaways are going to range from 100,000 to 200,000 to 500,000. There will be 3 names pulled out of the Pulsenator machine, and it'll be the first one will garner an extra 100,000 PZEN, the second name 200,000 PZEN, and the third name 500,000 PZEN. I'll repeat that. The first name out of the Pulsenator will get 100,000 PZEN. The second name out of the Pulsenator will get 200,000 PZEN. And the third and final name will get 500,000. 500,000 PulseZen. I'm in a really, really good mood this week. Everything that I've been saying about PulseZen is coming true. This protocol is just going to snowball. It's organically grown. There's no shenanigans behind it. There's nobody in control. It's just you. So I'll say Sanjivar. Thank you very much for watching. I'll just say hello to a couple of people that have risen with me. Who have we got on this morning? Paul's Outback Garden, Australia. G'day, mate. How are you? Love Australia. Spent a lot of time in Sydney and Perth. Tintop says, what's up, hexagons? You're in the wrong forum, mate. We are not hexagons. This is for Zennites. Not to say that we don't like hex. We love hex. But this is the Zenite forum. Salty Hexagon says, up and to the right. Well, hopefully for both protocols, let's face it. Out of all of the DeFi landscape that is out there, if you put a gun to my head and said, where are you putting your money? It would be in PulseZen, and I've already got money in Hex. I can't unstake it, and I'm not going to unstake it. But of course, PulseZen is the alternative. There's no lockup, there's no staking. We all know that 15 years is a very long time for some people. For some people, it's not, and that is the protocol that they should be doing. But PulseZen is an alternative. Oh, a few more people joining this morning. Crypto Trucker, hello from the USA. Good morning to you. Can't wait to get back to California. I shouldn't really say that. I mean, yeah, it's quite nice down here. Fun TV. Do you agree with RH11K and Prey? Well, I think we're going to get pretty close. I don't have a crystal ball. People say I have balls of steel, but I don't have a crystal ball. So who knows what's going to happen? But I think we might get close as this contagion from yesterday continues. I mean, nobody knows what CZ is actually going to do for the investors in FTX. Nobody knows what the fallout is going to be if Alameda also collapses. So yeah, I mean, don't forget, it's institutional dumb money that is, guiding the markets, unfortunately, with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, and, most protocols are correlated to the big two. So yeah, we could see Bitcoin falling. Whether it gets to 11K or not, I don't think it'll fall that low. I think somewhere in the 15. But the thing is, you've got to realize that even with that, we are so early into this game. We really are so early that even if it did fall to 11K, who cares? Because you only lose money if you sell at that level. Look, as I said before, the great little advert for PulseZen, don't let your dinosaur brain take control, because You know, it's really, really early. Bluepot has come on and said, is there a risk for PZEN holders of DEXs like Uniswap delisting PZEN ever, despite the code continuing to operate, therefore no way to convert tokens to cash out? Completely not. Do you not understand what Uniswap is? It's code. Uniswap is code. They can't turn it off. They certainly can't turn off V2 because you know what? There's lots of Uniswap copies running around as well. You know that most code is copy and paste. There are dozens of Uniswap copies. You're going to close them all down? You can't. So that is a superfluous parade of imaginary horribles. Good question, though. Anything else I can talk about? Dave Adams says, I respect your honesty about the 15-year stakes. Yeah, look, my stakes, I'm going to be dead when they mature. And, you know, that's fine. But I just thought that we needed an alternative for, you know, nobody knew 48 hours ago that this was going to happen in the crypto market. You know, and I'm not knocking Hex at all. I am the main protagonist for Hex personally, right? But we needed an alternative, and all PulseZen is an alternative. That's all it is. Oh, a few more questions. This is just a quick, short coffee time chat. So I'm going to leave it here. If you have any other questions like that, come and join the Telegram group, t.me/PZEN official, and have these discussions and keep those discussions going in there. So I'll sign off for today. Sanjivar, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to register for the giveaway, and I will see you in the next broadcast, probably tomorrow morning at coffee time. Thank you.